All right, so today we are installing a product in the back of the 5th gen 4Runner. I bought the product from a website called caliraisedled.com, and they call it the 400 watt anytime wiring harness. So essentially, the reason I purchased this product is because I was out in the Nevada backcountry shooting a commercial back there for about 5 days, and the thing that really we realized was going to be tough on this project was honestly getting food. So I brought a fridge with us. I think it was a Dometic 45 liter at the time. I've now since upgraded to the 70 liter version, which is like a dual zone setup, which is great. But we quickly realized as we started our, 8-hour drive out into the desert, that the Goal Zero battery that we were charging powering the fridge from was not charging from the 400 watt outlet back here. So I did some research about a year later on this matter and found that there's a product that actually allows you to be able to have power back here full time. And yeah, so essentially the problem is that when you go from park to drive, you end up losing your 400 watt power. 400 watts is what is required to power like your Yeti 1500X power bank. But the problem is when you take the car from park and put it into drive, you essentially get capped out at 100 watts, which shuts off, powering your fridge, powering your Goal Zero, and even like charging camera equipment from this outlet, which really stinks because if you're driving in between locations and you're relying on this to power, you're going to quickly find out that you can't power your V-mount batteries and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, so there's this product that essentially goes in there. Looks like it's pretty simple and gives you the option to charge all your stuff. So should be pretty quick and easy, and here we go. Okay, so this is your 12 volt area. We'd be plugging in accessories, and this is your little switch that was installed in my 2023 4Runner TRD Off-Road Premium. The button that we just talked about up front is the one that controls this. So, all right, so tools you'll need. You need a ratcheting wrench, or honestly just an open head 10mm spanner would work. And then obviously for this 10mm socket. And then I just use a screwdriver, but you can use like plastic trim removal tools if that is what you want to do. But I don't mind a little bit of scratches here and there. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and open this guy up here. I just am using a flathead to get this off. And you just freaking run this thing underneath, pop it out. Just is a little bit of scuffing down here, but I mean, it's nothing compared to taking it off-road and stuff. So there is the circular plug that plugs into your cigarette lighter, rectangular plug that goes into your 400 watt house plug thing, 12 volt system, and then there is this plug on the right that goes into this computer back here, and then another plug back over here. And then last but not least, there is also a ground right down there that we'll be getting at, and that's a 10mm. So it's all super basic and easy to get to. All right, so here is the product that we're putting in. This is that 400 watt anytime kit. This is your ground. These two plugs go into the ECU kind of system back there. This plug is the plug that actually goes into the 400 watt plug in the back. I'll give you a little extra in case you want to install another plug, because they sell another kit that does something like that. They sell like the extra plug. So I'll show you guys how to put this all in. All right, so now that we've gotten this thing open, your first steps are going to be, I just like to work from left to right, unplug the 12 volt system, and then unplug this guy. There's just going to be a a little tab down here that you unplug like that. And then that removes your face plate here. Set that aside. Okay, and then kind of hard to see the left side from here. Essentially, there's a little tab on top of this guy. You just pull this guy out if it wants to go. Made it look harder than it actually is there. And then you pull out this left one. The tab's on the right side, so it's easy to get to. And that basically loosens up this harness. I already pre-loosened the ground screw here. There's that. Okay, and here's where the new system comes in. This more horizontal piece goes right in here. And then this piece from the actual system plugs into this side. And then you take your stock thing. Actually, you know what? Leave this one unplugged for the time being. Because it makes it easier to get into this ground. And then, pro tip, with the ground, put your bolt in first. And then right here. Okay, so after some fiddling around, I was able to get this thing seated correctly. And I'm just using the leverage of this thing to essentially get it all bolted in nice and good, nice and tight. Oh, come on. Okay, and then once you get it tight, you'll know it. So it's funny because this is the piece for the 12 volt. This is the piece for the 12 volt plug. This is the piece for your cigarette lighter. So you won't be plugging in this black one, but this white one actually will be staying plugged in. But anyways, this is where we come into our product here. Basically just plug this white piece into the back here. And then you take your old cigarette lighter plug and plug that in. And then take your old ground plug, plug that in the back, try to like neatly press everything back in, and then shove it in, and you're solid. When you start the car, this doesn't automatically go, but you gotta hit that, and if you put some shade on it, you can see that there's a green and orange light. And I actually already installed this device, but essentially, if you put it into, sorry, the door's open, so it's yelling at me. If you put it into drive, this green light turns off and it switches you over into 100 watts. So, yeah. But since I've already had it installed, it is actually, that pretty much concludes the install of this 400 watt anytime kit. Super easy. It solves a lot of issues, and with like a Goal Zero or a Jackery, you can pretty much have a good weekend rig. You could power Starlink off one of these things, and while you're driving around, you can be charging your stuff up. I think the only thing you have to remember is obviously to hit that button when you start the car. And yeah, I mean, just literally put like a sticky note up or something. The next thing will obviously be, maybe someone can figure out a way to just bypass that button and have it turn on when the car turns on. So still both on when you put it in drive. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully this helped out a little bit and solved your issues, and you guys can go out and camp and have some fun. Anyways, we are starting this 4Runner build now, and we're gonna see where this thing goes. We got the Land Cruiser over there. That thing's fun. So if we can catch up to that a little bit, that'd be sweet. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'm out. Okay, so essentially what you're seeing here is that 400 watt AC button here. I'm not gonna get into the granular stuff because I'm not very scientific with all this, but Essentially, if you take your car, here, let me just go ahead and actually jump in and start it. I'm sorry, the car's a little bit dirty right now.